Hey guys, it's the Autistic Scyther here, and well, just last week we got the latest trailer for Pokémon Legends Z-A, as well as, which of course I'm very much excited for, as well as not reassignment, but the reveal of Mega Dragonite. Now, in all fairness, I'm kinda surprised that Dragonite's got Mega Evolution, but there are not that many people that are so happy. However, that being said, there's a good chance we're gonna get some more Megas in the near future, and considering how we have a while to go before it comes out, well, we're gonna take a little look at which Pokemon I would think, or at least I believe, would possibly get their own Mega Evolution. Now, I would go with a top 10, but I'm just gonna go with, let's say, Pokemon, one per region. Now, if there are multiple Pokemon that would get a Mega Evolution, that's fine. I'll mention it slightly, but just know that the Pokemon I choose will be the Pokemon that I believe would possibly get a Mega Evolution if it's not already honestly revealed yet. And just in case they do reveal it and one of these ends up getting it, I'm not a mind reader, so you really can't blame me for this. So without further ado, let's get started with Kanto. And honestly, the Pokemon that would get the Mega Evolution spot is Arbok. Alright, now hear me out. I was going to choose Wigglytuff since its entire line recently has gotten a lot of attention thanks to the reveal of Screamtail. However, that being said, I think Arbok definitely deserves a chance to get a Mega Evolution. We've already seen, in the trailer, we've already seen it as a partner of one of the new characters, Corbeau, who I didn't realize was a Yakuza, so there's something. And in this case, if we go with Team Rocket Pokemon, we already know Weezing has a regional variant, so it kind of makes sense Arbok does as well. Would have to get a Mega as well. Well, not as well, but would have to get something, and I think a Mega would be something to reinvent the snake. That's my idea. Moving on next, we have Johto, and for this one, I'm choosing Macargo. Alright, now there are a lot of Pokemon that honestly would get regional that would get Megas, like Sunflora, or heck, Shuckle. I mean, even a Pokemon like Wobbuffet. But in this case, Macargo, I think, definitely is one of those Pokemon that definitely deserves something. I mean, now, honestly, all the Pokemon that everyone thinks should get a Mega have something that kinda makes them a little lackluster, like Ledian, Ariados, and Sunflora. But I believe Macargo has been around for a long time, and the last time it was part of a main series Pokedex was Gen 6. Honestly, it's about time Macargo got something in Legends Z-A. I believe it's time. Moving on next, we have Hoenn. And for the Hoenn region, you know me. You know everyone. Milotic. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I thought I was going with Flygon. But, no. I mean, sure, Flygon would make some sense for a Mega, but no. Game Freak already said that They basically had a writer, well, not a writer's block, but a designer's or developer's block for this one. And Milotic, on the other hand, is right there. I mean, first off, we already have an established Mega and an established counterpart for Milotic with Gyarados, which went from Water Flying to Water Dark. What better way to basically give Milotic something that could combat it by giving it a Water Fairy Mega? Honestly, I know everyone and their mother has come up with this idea, but honestly, I agree with them. Food for thought. Moving on next, we have Sinnoh. And yeah, I know, Sinnoh's had a lot. Well, not a lot actually, but you already get it. I mean, since we already have Lucario, Garchomp, and Abomasnow, there really doesn't seem to be that much. I think we all know which one definitely needs it. Luxray. Honestly, if anyone has ever played Pokemon Emerald Imperium, they know Mega Luxray is an amazing idea. Plus, it really deserves something that could allow it to give it to gain the Electric Dark typing. And again, the only type of Pokemon we have that's Electric Dark is Morpeko. So yeah, Mega Luxray definitely fits. How are we going to get the Shinx line in Kalos when they weren't there in Pokemon X and Y to begin with? Well, that's something we're gonna have to find out, possibly when it's released, or if they give another trailer. Moving on next, we have the Unova region. And honestly, in fairness, there's really there's a lot of Pokemon that are going to get it, and honestly, we've had so many Pokemon that are rumored to eventually come about. We had Mega Excadrill, Mega Scolipede, Mega Scrafty, Mega Chandelure. There's really a lot. However, again, this is an unlikely Pokemon to get one, but I believe the Pokemon that we definitely should get a Mega is Behem. I mean, honestly, the Elgium line are kind of amazing to say the least. And I actually, a few years back, before Paldea was introduced, I actually created a California-based Pokemon region with a regional variant of Elgium and an evolution based on the Xenomorph from the Aliens franchise. I mean, I don't know if they're going to be able to make a Mega version of Behem based on that, because again, we don't know how Universal will react. But honestly, if there's ever a Pokemon that definitely deserves a more monstrous or almost kind of hulking alien-esque form or extraterrestrial form, it's Behem. Also, come on, I've always thought that thing looked unfinished, so this is something that could at least add something to it. Who knows? Maybe this might inspire something, if it's a possibility that if Megas are really temporary. Moving on next, we have, Kalos itself. And again, honestly, since Kalos is the region and this had the shortest Pokedex thus far, you really have a lot of different Pokemon that could essentially get it. And honestly, I think there's always a perfect Pokemon that would be able to get a that would get a Mega Evolution. And that's the Kalos starters. Which Kalos starter would I think would get the big Mega here? Well, I really had to think, and while a lot of people would say Greninja would most likely get it since this was one of the world's favorite Pokemon, and while Delphox is kind of an interesting pick, Fire Psychic's really not all that bad. That being said, the one Pokemon I would think would get the Mega is Mega Chesnaught. I mean, the Chespin line is kind of interesting. I mean, it's a fan favorite. It's not exactly a fan favorite like Greninja, even though the anime did it some favors. And it's not, well, as looted as Delphox. But definitely needs something since Grass and Fighting type, it gets a little outpaced by other Pokemon out there like Breloom, Virizion, and the like. Plus, I think the best way to go for this is Grass Steel. Because its Pokédex entry mentions it's able to flip a tank. I think there's something there. If it becomes Grass Steel, it would be able to just yeet that thing sky high. It's a weird way to say it, but it's something. Moving on next to Alola. And these last three, since they're more recent, are not shoo-ins, but there's obviously some Pokemon that may end up getting a Mega. Starting off with Alola, I'm choosing one Pokemon, and that's Crabominable. Reason? I just like Crabominable, and everyone hates it. That way, this was just for me. If it got a Mega Evolution, not only would I be very happy to see this thing get and possibly get used on my team if I do eventually get this. But in fairness, there's a good chance many other people might end up seeing Crabominable in a whole new light. We really don't know. Moving on next to Galar, and there's obviously one Pokemon that fits this descriptor quite nicely. Centiskorch. And honestly, its Gigantamax form looks pretty cool since it goes from a fire-breathing centipede to a full Chinese dragon. And honestly, I think this is a proof of what a Mega Centiskorch would have in store. Now, how would they do this when the Gigantamax exists? I mean, they'll find a way, since, again, Gengar has both a Mega and a Gigantamax, so it's not too far-fetched. Oh boy, that is a weird pun. I'm leaving it in. And finally, Paldea. Honestly, if there's ever a Pokemon that could fit for this, I'm choosing Tinkaton. Yeah, fan favorite. Kind of makes sense. And honestly, considering how Tinkaton basically is known to hunt Corviknight, maybe it gets a strength boost to help it do so. We really don't know. This is just something I would enjoy. That being said, those are all the Pokemon I believe would get Mega Evolutions when in Pokemon Legends Z-A. Now, would these things really happen? We really don't know. But if it comes down to it, we really kind of look forward to that anyway. Alright, that being said, like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.